Hello Huntersville Gospel Ministries listeners. This is Daniel Kong with Let's Read the Bible. We started sharing the book of Haggai last week. Here is a short summary of the background of the book of Haggai. The people of Israel returned to Jerusalem after 70 years of captivity and came together as one heart to rebuild the temple that was in ruin, but it was halted because of the conflict with the people of Samaria. 16 years passed by quickly, and the people of Judah lost interest in rebuilding the temple. That is when God sent prophet Haggai and delivered God's messages to the people of Judah. There were two major purposes when prophet Haggai started delivering God's messages about not to delay rebuilding the temple anymore and to start rebuilding it. The first was because of the symbolic meaning and importance of the temple, and the second was so that the history of the chosen people of Israel would continue through the returnees' building of the temple that would connect the past, present, and future of Israel. The temple was where God met the people of Israel. God made a covenant with the people of Israel on Mount Sinai, dwelt among them, and met them. The only way for sinful humans to meet God was at the temple, where they gave offerings that God required of them. The only place where God in heaven and people on earth could meet was the temple. According to Hebrews chapter 8, verse 5, the temple is a copy and shadow of the heavenly things and indicates that the temple is a scaled model of what is in heaven. That is why the temple is a place that is completely different from the worldly things, even though it is in the world. That is why the temple is the most holy place in the world. People were able to imagine how heaven was like by looking at the temple and getting a sense of heaven where God resides. It was because the temple was a smaller version of heaven. The temple was a representation of God's presence among them. God met his people in the temple, dwelt among them, and passed judgment onto them. God's presence was also interconnected with their peace and prosperity. God dwelt in the temple himself, so all of Israel would know and gave them the faith to become stronger. Because of the many symbolic reasons for having a temple, Haggai was faithful to deliver God's message of rebuilding his temple, even if it would be at a great cost to the people. When people heard God's messages in Haggai chapter 1, they turned their hearts toward God and started rebuilding the temple. But they were disappointed with the result. People were feeling down because of how shabby the temple looked without any splendor. However, God told them this in Haggai chapter 2, verse 9. "The latter glory of this house shall be greater than the former, says the Lord of hosts. And in this place I will give peace, declares the Lord of hosts." God did not promise them a grand and splendid temple. However, he did promise them that he would dwell with them in there. God said how the temple's latter glory would be greater than the former and gave peace within the temple. God wanted the people to know the true meaning of the temple was how God was residing in it, not the building itself. The people of Israel may have wanted to bring the splendor of the past, but God told them that what God wanted was to dwell among them, not the splendor of the past. Also, God wanted them to focus on his heart by focusing on God's presence among them, not how the temple looked physically. As a matter of fact, people mistakenly thought that they would become holy by giving offerings even if they lived in their sin. God let them know about their sins through Haggai chapter 2 verses 10 to 19, that God sees the hearts of the people who give offerings, not the act of giving offerings. Perhaps it looks similar to many people of today who give meaning to going to church on Sunday alone, instead of turning back from sin and giving our hearts to worship. Even though the book of Haggai is a short book with just 2 chapters, it is a book of the prophet who delivered the messages of a new beginning after the people returned from captivity. Not much is known about the prophet Haggai, but he was a prophet who turned the hearts of the people of Israel toward God by faithfully delivering his messages. I hope we will all be able to know God's heart by reading the book of Haggai. Let's read Haggai chapter 2 verses 1 to 23 together. In the 7th month, on the 21st day of the month, the word of the Lord came by the hand of Haggai the prophet. "Speak now to Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua the son of Jehozadak, the high priest, and to all the remnant of the people, and say, Who is left among you who saw this house in its former glory? How do you see it now? Is it not as nothing in your eyes? Yet now be strong, O Zerubbabel, declares the Lord. Be strong, O Joshua, son of Jehozadak the high priest. Be strong, all you people of the land, declares the Lord. Work, for I am with you, declares the Lord of hosts, according to the covenant that I made with you when you came out of Egypt. My spirit remains in your midst. Fear not, for thus says the Lord of hosts, yet once more, in a little while, I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land. And I will shake all nations, so that the treasure of all nations shall come in, and I will fill this house with glory, says the Lord of hosts. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, declares the Lord of hosts. The latter glory of this house shall be greater than the former, says the Lord of hosts. And in this place I will give peace, declares the Lord of hosts. On the 24th day of the 9th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, the word of the Lord came by Haggai the prophet. Thus says the Lord of hosts, ask the priests about the law. If someone carries holy meat in the fold of his garment, and touches with his fold bread or stew or wine or oil or any kind of food, does it become holy? The priest answered and said no. Then Haggai said, if someone who is unclean by contact with a dead body touches any of these, does it become unclean? The priests answered and said, it does become unclean. Then Haggai answered and said, so is it with this people and with this nation before me, declares the Lord, and so with every work of their hands, and what they offer there is unclean. Now then, consider from this day onward, before stone was placed upon stone in the temple of the Lord, how did you fare? When one came to a heap of 20 measures, there were but 10. When one came to a wine vat to draw 50 measures, there were but 20. I struck you and all the products of your toil with blight, and with mildew, and with hail, yet you did not turn to me, declares the Lord. Consider from this day onward, from the 24th day of the 9th month, since the day that the foundation of the Lord's temple was laid. Consider, is the seed yet in the barn? Indeed, the vine, the fig tree, the pomegranate, and the olive tree have yielded nothing, but from this day on I will bless you. The word of the Lord came a second time to Haggai on the 24th day of the month. Speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I am about to shake the heavens and the earth, and to overthrow the thrones of kingdoms. I am about to destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the nations, and overthrow the chariots and their riders. And the horses and their riders shall go down, every one by the sword of his brother. On that day, declares the Lord of hosts, I will take you, O Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of Shealtiel, declares the Lord, and make you like a signet ring, for I have chosen you, declares the Lord of hosts. We just read Haggai chapter 2, verses 1 to 23 together. I'll see you all next time. Until then, God bless.